It's been 3 years since a new home was built in Freeport, and that changes Friday with 2 homes coming to the market with incentives to both home builders and residents. The 2 new homes may not seem like a lot, but the greater Rockford housing market had an inventory of 17 homes in June. WIFR reporter Alyssa Kelly talks with the Greater Freeport Partnership and Choice Realty about what those incentives are and its impact on the market.
The Greater Freeport Partnership formed a collaboration that led to these 2 new homes to the market, creating incentives for home buyers, including no property taxes for the first 3 years.
Investment of purchasing a home is probably the biggest price tag item that an individual is ever going to buy in their lifetime.
In a housing market where inventory is a problem, the country is short an estimated 5 to 7 million properties, driving existing home prices to historic highs. That's a main reason why the city of Freeport decides to give homeowners new homes at a more affordable price.
Having a brand new home, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, attached garage, a full basement, at that price point is highly competitive.
Realtors say the average home in northern Illinois sells for almost $215,000. The new homes are priced at just a little more than $250,000 and have no property taxes on it for the first 3 years, saving the homeowner an estimated $15,000 to $20,000.
A period of abatement for 3 years is a significant cost savings to a home buyer.
The 2 new homes reflect a new housing trend of home buyers looking for smaller spaces, affordability, easier to maintain, and require lower utilities.
So these duplexes are actually smart homes, so they do have programmable thermostats, smart garage door openers, doorbells, things of that nature.
So having new homes, be it townhomes, single-family homes, is critical, and it's critical for our workforce to attract new people to the area and to come live in Freeport and Stephenson County.
As an added incentive to home builders, the Greater Freeport Partnerships waives permit fees and construction materials bought in Stephenson County.
The condo market in the Freeport area has also been low as far as what is available, so the brand new construction will give buyers more options.